Hello everyone and you're welcome to the Ark Show. Today we're talking about the Christian and the laws of the land. The question you probably ask is, as a Christian, should I obey all the laws of the land even if some of them violate my faith? Well, to talk about this issue, you have a Christian lawyer who is coming on board and be able to provide answers to these and some other questions. Stay tuned, we'll be right back after this timeout. Don't go away. Please like, share, subscribe, and press the notification button for updates. Thank you. John Delano is a corporate lawyer and a partner at Akin Delano Legal Practitioners. His interest and expertise lies in fintech infrastructure, agriculture, and entertainment law. He has, over the last 10 years, hosted many seminars and published several journals highlighting developments in various industry sectors. John writes as a hobby and is a die-hard patriot. Great to have you on today's show, and I know that a lot of people watching will probably ask the question, you're a Christian and you're a lawyer, so how did it all start?
Well, I come from a legal background. My father's a lawyer. My brother's lawyers, and so it's a natural sort of inclination in my family to get involved in law.
Okay, now, when did you give your life to Christ?
First when I was 15,
okay.
I got really more fervent in my 20s.
Your 20s?
Yeah.
So, why did you decide to be a lawyer? Looking at the fact that then, I guess, a couple of years back, you don't want to tell us your age, definitely you don't want to. But a couple of years back, it was like lawyers are known to be liars and they will go to hell.
It did not even feature, even though, that was something which is at the back of your mind, as it were.
That's where, yeah.
But, in our household, it's about sort of the cleverness of the argument, and finding, and when you do become a lawyer, you know that it's about authorities.
It's about authorities, yeah.
And also, law is not necessarily about justice. It's about what can be proved.
Okay, so the notion, are you saying people obviously have a wrong idea of what law is?
Well,
are they stating fears that
they are
come out of experience?
Experientially, if you may think that you have the justice of your cause is very strong, but if you don't have evidence, for example, then you're not going to prevail in a court that wants to see things in black and white.
Okay, speaking of laws and all that, should a Christian follow the laws of the land to the letter, even if it contradicts some part of the Bible?
I would say, there are times when, as a matter of conscience, a Christian cannot follow the law. For example, Nazi Germany.
So there are times a Christian has to break the law?
Yes. There are times when laws are made in such a way as to bring injustice.
Okay, so...
And in those, yes, as a Christian, in those circumstances...
You have to break the law.
You have to break the law. Call it what you will. But if the law is inherently unjust, then your conscience...
Okay, when Jesus was on earth, do we have records of any time he broke the law of the land?
We have many times when he broke convention. When he broke convention. And, some would argue that he broke laws of the temple sometimes.
Yes, he did.
Famously whipped people out of the temple. But when it came to tax, for example, he told Peter to pay his tax. Give unto Caesar what is Caesar's, give unto the Lord what is the Lord's. So there's always a balance. And under normal circumstances, Christians are not supposed to break the law. That's a normal thing.
Okay. Now we're looking at this the Karma law that
Yeah.
came up some time
Yes.
back, and a lot of churches were like, "Oh my goodness, this is some form of control. They want to gain control over things happening in the church."
Yes.
And there were a lot of fears, and some people made some remarks then that they were like, satanic. Was a satanic law. So, coming from your own perspective as a Christian lawyer, do you think the Karma law was, dead?
Well, the Karma law, it's not in effect yet, by the way. It's going to be, but it's not in effect yet. But the whole brouhaha about it is because people distrust the government that is in power. It's the regime that is in power that can use the law in a draconian fashion. Okay, and in fact, what people are apprehensive of is that the reason they would bring those laws, and I guess the laws that we're talking about are the ones that prescribe the company's corporate affairs commission taking over churches or taking over charities if they feel that the law has not been followed. Now you have those sort of laws in the UK as well. For example, there's a time famously when Matthew Ashimolowo was being audited, and he was audited for over a year. His accounts, the Corporate Affairs Commission over there prescribed an accounting firm for him, for his church, and they looked into his revenue, his expenditure, to see if things were being done in order. He was not found guilty of anything.
Okay.
But that went on for over a year, and there was at the time as well this feeling that he was being singled out, but it is what it is. You see, so it's not, one can't really fall on one side or the other. It depends on how the law is used.
Okay.
And having said that, there should be, there's a recourse anyway. The normal thing is there's executive, there's legislative, and there's the judiciary.
Okay, good. So speaking in terms of laws and all that, do you feel every church should have a constitution? Because oftentimes when we talk about structure, and I believe that's what the government is trying to sort out here, that look, are you well structured in terms of financial accountability? Do you think every church must have a constitution? What do you think should be the format as a lawyer?
So here's the thing, there has to be a balance, okay? Churches are charitable organizations, and so they enjoy a particular privilege of not paying tax, right? Now, if you are enjoying that privilege, which other people are not enjoying, to whom much is given, much is expected.
Yes, but what I'm saying is internally now.
Yes.
We are Christians.
Yes, I'm still on your point.
Okay, go
I'm
ahead.
still on your point. Churches should, I think, have constitutions.
Okay.
The church should be well structured in terms of this is what the church is about. This is what it should be doing, including other charitable organizations, NGOs. Everybody should have a structure in place.
Okay, there's this confusion that keeps popping up.
Yeah.
For me, Christianity, is it a theocracy? That is one. If it's a theocracy, then why are we trying to promote democracy? And can democracy exist in the church system? What I'm asking is, a lot of people will say, well, we have pastors who have a right to do whatever they want to do with the church funds, and so no one can hold them accountable. They say they're operating from God, so that's theocracy.
Well, you see, It depends on the constitution of the particular church.
Shouldn't there be a standard as against just allowing people to come up with their own idea of what the constitution should be?
Again, you see.
Find out the answer to these and other interesting questions on The Ark Show next week. Please like, share, subscribe, and press the notification button for updates. Thanks for watching.